Hey everybody, this is On Screen Off Screen, a show where we like to talk about our weekly media intake, how it affects us, and how what we're doing or what we're feeling affects what we're watching. We have all three of us: Lauren the greatest, Conlon the greatest, and myself. And we're gonna go ahead
The
and get
greatest.
started with close second. We're gonna get started with Conlon because I already know about this topic, and I'm curious what he thinks.
Okay. Mercy is what I'm going over. Josh went over it last week, and I was like, you know what? I am interested in this movie. I'm going to give it a shot, and I do think it's wildly underrated. This is a very fun, very enjoyable movie. Josh didn't like Chris Pratt and thought that he phoned it in. I don't agree with that. I actually thought he did a pretty good job. Is it his best role? No, but I thought he did a pretty dang good job. I was on the edge of my seat most of the time, even though it's pretty predictable and you know what's likely to happen. Everything ties together. I don't feel like they're wasting your time. Basic premise of it is guy gets accused of murdering his wife. He is is he a detective or a cop? I
He's
don't
a
know.
detective. I do want to
He's a
clarify.
detective.
I think it was bottom of the barrel for Chris Pratt, but he's still Chris Pratt,
Okay.
right? I
Okay.
wasn't saying he did a bad job. It was just for Chris Pratt. I have higher expectations. That's all I was saying with that.
Okay. That's fair. I thought it was pretty I guess low middling is kind of what I would call it for Chris Pratt, but I still thought it was quite good. Um, anyway, he's a detective and has he has a very short period of time to prove that he is innocent enough to not be immediately executed by this AI system, which was cool. You have that countdown that's going on in the background, which breeds a lot of tension into the movie, which added a lot of enjoyment to the overall film. I also like the way that it's filmed, where you are watching this through video feeds because he's having to interact with the AI system to track down and get enough evidence to prove that maybe he didn't kill his wife. The way that they capture everything, I think, is really good and it's very compelling. There's a part of the movie where it is pretty obvious that he at least has reasonable doubt that he didn't kill his wife. And at that point, I was like, you're still at like 93%. This is a little ridiculous. It's very like, there's a lot of crap going on. There's a lot of side plots, and obviously his wife was in some messed up stuff. There's enough information for him to at least get a trial. And they kind of keep it going because of movie stuff. And I think it would have been more compelling, honestly, and more believable if they would have dropped it down to where he's in trial zone now instead of I'm just going to execute you at the end of the clock. And the part that brings you into the movie ends up being the mystery instead of, oh no, Chris Pratt's going to die. I think that would have been better and it felt more authentic instead of kind of just pulling me out of the believability of the movie that I was watching. The other thing that I didn't like, but I can understand why people did, is honestly Rebecca Ferguson, because this AI didn't make a lot of sense to me. She at times is super strict character. At times she's human, and at times she comes across as like a psychopath. There's a part where the building's gonna explode. One of our main bad guys, he's running a giant bomb into the building, and he's going to take down the entire Mercy program, the program this AI runs. He's going to blow up the entire building. At least that's what we think is going to happen. And as he's coming closer and closer to the building, she's like, the AI says he's got a bomb. And she puts this weird, like, Joker psycho look on her face. And I don't know why they chose that. I don't know why the director pushed that through. It didn't feel like the AI was consistent, which I didn't really enjoy. I wish that she would have played it either a lot more base level, and she could have been like, you know what, we're breaking the rules a little bit here, but this is how I can twist it to make the rules apply, and had it work more as a computer system instead of making it more human. She could have had moments where she didn't feel as like a psychopath, and it just wasn't even. And it's kind of my one big negative of the movie overall, because otherwise it's really good. I think Chris Pratt's character is good. I love the daughter character. I think Chris Pratt having to deal with that his daughter's older than what he thinks, and she's doing things that he doesn't realize that she's doing, but he has to deal with it anyway. He literally can't worry about that stuff right now. He has to focus because otherwise his daughter's literally not going to have a father. Like, she's not going to have any parents at all, but he loves her daughter. He loves his daughter, but also realizes he doesn't completely understand his daughter. Is a cool dynamic, and it makes you feel for our main character. They do a lot of good stuff in here. I've read reviews where they like that Rebecca Ferguson plays the AI the way that they do, because the reviews that I've read that are positive say it feels like it's an AI that's mimicking human expression without really understanding human expression. I can understand why someone would like that about the movie. I just really didn't. For me, highly enjoyable. It is underrated. It was like a 7.4. It's a movie that I could see myself watching again, but I could also see myself like not watching again. But it was worth a watch.
Just in defense of Rebecca Ferguson,
Yeah.
I didn't get that feeling from her at all.
Okay.
So in the scene that Conlon's talking about specifically, she smiles, she does, but it's when Chris Pratt figures out what's going on. So my
Okay.
interpretation was she was smiling because Chris Pratt was actually figuring it out. Like, she had figured it out, but she can't give away the answer. So she's smiling because of that. That's how I took it. Not saying that that's the right way or the only way. I'm just saying I didn't have that problem because that was my interpretation.
Okay.
Um,
I mean, that's fair. Like, I could see somebody not being as bugged by it as I was, but I was like, this is. It was like not a, oh, I'm so proud of you smile. To me, it just came across as what, like, bloodthirsty. It was a weird moment in the movie for me.
yeah, I didn't get that at all because as he's figuring it out, her smile grows. She gets a bigger smile, and so I think I'm on the side of she's mimicking human emotions, but not appropriately. So
Okay.
that was just my interpretation. I only say that to say we had different experiences with that, but your rating was actually higher than mine, so we're all good.
I really, really did enjoy my time with it. I'll play a game while I'm watching a movie or whatever it is. I often do that, but I literally just put my phone down and was fully absorbed in what I was watching. Another Some of the other reviews that I saw said they didn't really like it because it cut so much, but I thought the story flowed pretty well, and I didn't feel like it was overly edited. I really liked it. I had a good
I
time.
don't see that being a valid criticism at all because every time it cuts, it talks to Chris Pratt and he's like, I want to talk to this person. And then we're talking to that person. It's not like
That's kind of what I
it's
thought too.
jolty.
It felt like everything had a purpose for why he was talking. Did you like the way it was edited and how it was like formatted, the format of the movie?
Yeah, it was beautiful. I loved he was looking at screens, he couldn't quite control them, but he could use small little finger gestures or think. Um, I love that, like, it's processed, it's very visually, like, you can understand it because we have tablets, right? So it's that way. We also are getting into this VR stuff as a society, so when he does the 3D environments, you understand why he's sitting in the middle of a room with a murdered body, and like everything connects and feels like I don't have any problem with that. I do think the movie has problems. um and yeah, it's not original, and yeah, it's super predictable, but it was fun, and I think watching it one time, great. If you don't want to, I also don't think it's one I would be pushing people to watch, but I enjoyed it.
That's completely fair. Yeah, and then also I really was impressed by the chase scene with the truck. I thought it was really, really well filmed for this kind of, I don't know, for a movie that wasn't about a chase scene. I thought it was particularly good, and I can't even really explain why. But I've watched a lot of chase scenes, and it was very satisfying to me, if you get what I mean, kind of.
I do. You're right. It was very well. You were on the edge of your seat. You didn't really know what exactly was going to happen. You knew where it was going to end, but they come up with a plan to divert the truck, and you're like, are they going to do it? And then there's the bomb, and you're like, is he really going to set it off? And then he's like, oh, it was a dud. And you have to think, was it really? Was it really a dud? And
Yeah.
it does a great job of keeping you at the edge of your seat. You have the flying helicopter with the detective chick on it, and you're like, she sucks. I hate her, and she's being such a little bitch right now. And yeah, I think the shooting and directing of it was really really good.
Me too. Me too. Thanks for recommending it, man. I had a good time. I had a
Okay.
good time.
Good. All right, with that, let's go ahead and hit my topic. I'm just going to be giving an update. I've been trying to watch all my unwatched owned movies. So I'm just going to burn through what I've been watching. Most of this was in our hiatus where we had a few weeks off, but um, and then we can just discuss whatever you guys want to discuss. So the first one is Alice in Wonderland, the 1951 animated Disney movie. I gave it a 7. Then I watched American Graffiti. I gave it an 8.4. I watched American
Okay.
Psycho. I gave it a 6. Alien Convergence. I gave it a 1. Angel Has Fallen. I gave it a 5. Annie Hall. I gave it a 5. Anything Goes. I gave a 7.75. Believe Me. I gave a 7. Cars 3. I gave a 7.3. And Peter Pan Goes Wrong. I gave an 8.5.
Wow. What is Believe Me about? That's the only one that I don't know what that one is.
So, Believe Me is based on a true story. It is about a girl who got kidnapped and raped, and she gets let go by the person, and she goes to the cops and she says, "This happened to me," but nobody believes her until one detective does. He talks to her. He figures out that the guy who kidnapped her was actually this mass murderer. And because of how calm and focused the girl was, she was able to leave behind evidence intentionally that led to his capture. So, like, there's a point in the movie where um, she bites her thumb so that she bleeds and she leaves blood on the bottom of the car seat.
That's crazy.
She gets
That's
left alone
cool.
in the bathroom for a minute, and because the killer has her blindfolded the whole time, she goes and she hides fingerprints all over the bathroom, like on the mirror, on the bottom of the toilet seat, and a bunch of different places, so that if cop like the whole her methodology was, I'm going to die. I just want cops to be able to figure out how I got here so that this guy can be caught so it doesn't happen to somebody else. And so it's super heartbreaking when she gets put in with these two female detectives. Her mom is a horrible person, and leaves her with her grandma and a guy who rapes her growing up. So they are trying to cover those tracks. So when she first comes comes back, her mom's like, "Oh, she just ran away." So the cops don't really believe her. She's like, "This happened to me. Somebody please stop this man so it doesn't happen to somebody else." And because she keeps insisting and insisting and insisting, those female cops go to the leading detective of the killer's case and say, "Hey, you have a way with words. Can you get this girl to like go home? Because we're tired of her, but we can't let her go legally until she admits that she ran away." And he talks to
Mhm.
her and he believes her, and he eventually connects the dots. And like, it is extraordinary how like what happened to her in her personal life was terrible, but because of that she wasn't as shocked when it happened to her by this stranger, and she was able
Okay.
to keep calm enough that like she counted how long she was going, she counted lights, she counted like after 5 minutes we turned right, and we hit a pothole. I saw freeway lights above me. I was able to connect that, like, the carpet beneath me wasn't factory car seats, that it was just carpet that was installed, even though she was blindfolded, even though she never saw the killer. She was able to keep calm and, like, eventually get out of that place, stop this killer. She later goes on, she becomes a sexual assault detective in her personal life later on. Um, the research I did said that this was pretty accurate as to what actually happened, and it's just like so sad and so heartbreaking and
That
inspiring
is sad.
too. It's pretty interesting.
That is interesting. That's interesting. I'm compelled to watch that. My I have a couple questions about multiple of these. I did not like American Psycho at all. Like I really did not enjoy this movie, and I'm surprised that it's a 6 for you because you usually don't like following despicable people. Why did it kind of work for you?
It didn't really.
Okay.
It's mostly like I'm giving it points because of the meme culture that's around it. I
Okay.
don't get the love or the fact that it's a cult classic or an iconic movie at all, but I do get that it was very symbolic of American consumerism, obsession, um, with one's face, self appearance, sex, drugs, all that kind of stuff that is very prominent today. I actually think that this movie is a big warning sign for those things, and yet they're more prevalent now than when it came out. Um, Patrick Bateman symbolizes the worst American culture has and why it's so bad. Um, I didn't love it, but I do give it points for, like, its significance.
I was gonna say this
Okay.
is the one with Christian Bale, right?
Yeah,
And it has because like
Yeah.
I think of the scene all the time where he's like, "Of course," I was like, "Yeah, of course." That scene because I haven't ever seen it, but it does have a
yeah,
meme following.
yeah. Its
It
memes
does.
are everywhere.
Yeah,
But
People
yeah,
love this movie, and I don't get it at all. Not even a little bit. I did not like this movie.
I like memes. I do like them.
the memes are funny.
Memes are great.
I now have the context for it. I wouldn't watch it again. I don't even necessarily think that people should watch it because it's just crap.
Even
But,
for the
like,
context.
yeah, it's interesting because of its significance. It's interesting that back in 1990, whatever, we were talking about these things, about the negative sides to American culture, and so, like, that, like, part was interesting, but, like, it's a garbage movie. It's not very interesting. The plot is not very interesting. It was pretty uncomfortable to watch at times. So yeah, I gave it a 6, but I won't be watching it again.
Okay. Okay. And then my next one was just American Graffiti. I mean, this has been on my list for like since I was a toddler. What did you think about it? Did it live up to the hype? Well, just in general.
Did it live up to the hype? Yeah, I mean, I gave it an 8.4. My notes are I love the 60s. If I could pick an era to have grown up in, it would be that. The cars are freaking phenomenal. I love 60s cars. They have so much personality. It's a big part of the movie. Um, there's some really good quotes. Like, one character says, "Go kiss a duck, Marblehead," and the character's like, "What did you just say?" And it's like so 60s. It's fantastic. We don't get insults like that today. We're
No, we
all just
don't.
like "F you." I mean, Lauren just had an incident with an insult, and, like, wouldn't it have been so much better if that person, instead of saying what he said, "Go kiss a duck, Marblehead"? right? Like
My day would have been better.
exactly. Um,
I would have been confused out of my mind, but
That would have been amazing. You should go say that to him.
yeah.
yeah. Um, Harrison Ford is in this movie. He's super young. It's weird to see him that young and to play that kind of character. But yeah, I really like this. I will watch this one again. It's basically just like America in the '60s. That's the plot of the movie, and it's awesome, and I love it.
Cool, cool, cool. Was there any other ones? Oh, and then Peter Pan Goes Wrong. I've actually seen the like stage production. This is just a film stage production, right?
This is a film stage production of a Peter Pan version of the play that goes wrong.
Yes.
That's what I was gonna ask because I've heard of the play that goes wrong, and then I was wondering if this is like something that the same company does or
No, it's just like the exact same thing. The play that goes wrong is about the murder mystery, but the play that goes wrong, right? It's super kind of generic. This one is what if Peter Pan goes wrong? And it's played by this small London company, and they do a fantastic job with it. And yes, I saw the play that goes wrong. And yes, this is nothing new because I had already seen that. But I was laughing and having a great time with it anyway. It's very cool to see the different kinds of jokes they do when the setting is changed. Um, but it is basically the same. Somebody gets hurt, set pieces go wrong, person has to do this. There is a part where the uh, set guy has to start reading lines because the person who was supposed to be reading the lines got knocked out, and it's like, yeah, okay, that happens in both of them, but was still fun and just a great time. I recommend watching both versions because they're great. Go see them.
Cool, cool, cool. All right, Lauren, what questions do you have? Those were kind of mine.
I was just gonna ask about Peter Pan Goes Wrong, and then Alice in Wonderland. I was interested to hear your thoughts on that. It's the 1951 version, the
Yeah,
animated Disney.
yeah. Uh, Great animation. It's timeless. The last time I did this, I brought up I miss that old 2D animation. This does a great job. I think the songs could have been better. The Mad Hatter actually reminds me of King Candy from Wreck It Ralph. Um, I like the Tim Burton one better still, but I'm really happy I watched it. It's good.
I was gonna say I love the Cheshire Cat in this version,
Yeah.
um, but this one does a really good like. I feel like this version is what my dreams feel like.
I'm
Okay.
super
like
glad I don't have that experience, but like, interesting.
like if people because like people say that my dreams are very chaotic and fast paced and they switch very like people are like I can't keep up with your dreams, so I'm like, you know what, a good thing to explain my dreams is be like Alice in Wonderland. That's what my dreams feel like. But
I
yeah.
would I would hate your dreams. They'd be horrifying.
Yeah. The only thing was that you'd have to then redo the whole thing again, except you have to try to fix everything that went wrong, but somehow it still gets worse, even though you know how it ends up.
Crazy. Yeah, I have seen the original Alice in Wonderland once and I liked it. I don't really understand why it is so big, to be honest, but I liked it. It's kind of where I was. Um, what do you have a rating on the original Alice in Wonderland, Lauren?
Um, I'd have to watch it again like more recently to
Okay.
actually um rate it because like I can think up scenes and stuff, but I can't remember how everything flows in to everything. Because like I feel like there's yeah, it kind of feels like a fever dream. Uh,
100% for sure. Yes.
but yeah, and I agree with Josh. I like the Tim Burton version better, but I still think that that version still has cadence and
Yeah, it's
standing.
worth watching every once in a while.
Hmm. Yeah, so I'd probably watch it again. I don't think I can do it. Give it a rating though.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Cool.
I wanted to ask Conlon, have you seen Alien Convergence? You are
I
an
think
Alien fan?
so. 1 second. I am pretty sure I've seen this one. And I'm pretty sure it's the one I don't like.
It starts off with the humans who are using telekinesis to fly instead of using the flight stick, which is right in front of them.
What? I don't remember this at all. No, I have never seen this.
Okay.
Is it? What was your rating to it?
1.
Oh, okay.
It is apparently supposed to be a mock movie like the Hungry Games or Starving Games or but
Scary
there is
movie
The
not
or
Hunger
a
Games.
single joke in it.
oh, that's awful.
Yeah, it's really truly horrible.
That sounds terrible. Nope, I've never seen it.
Yeah, you should watch it. I'm curious what you'd think. Um,
Okay.
with that, let's go ahead and hit Lauren's topic. What do you got for us?
I got a new fanfic for y'all. Surprise! It is still Harry Potter. um, this fanfic I found on TikTok, and it was sold to me by it was described as a girl who always chooses kindness. Um, and so it goes with a new main character. You're not following any of the old Harry Potter characters. This character is Newt Scamander's granddaughter, who goes to
Okay.
school at the same time as Harry and Ron and them. And it starts off, well, first off, this fic is called The Language of Small Things by Slytherin Princess 124. And it starts off very whimsical because she's at like this cottage with her father, and like their house is just this lived-in mess that has like these creatures running all over in it. Very reminiscent of kind of how Newt Scamander in the Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them lives. And so it starts off with her being on her 11th birthday, getting her letter to go to Hogwarts, and then it like does like a chapter of her getting sorted into Hufflepuff and her meeting Cedric Diggory, who's a year above her, and like they become best friends. And but then it kind of mentions her second year, but it really starts in like her third year. And it's just I think I'm like only 7 chapters in, but I am falling in love with this book because it's just showing all of these little moments that she chooses to be kind. And like she's at the train station, and there's this boy who like looks lost. And she like goes up to him, she's like, oh, like what's going on? And he's like, well, my mom told me to like find an adult she had to dip because like work or whatever. um he's like, she got me to the station, but he's like, I'm frozen, I don't know what to do. And so she's like, oh well, that's fine, like everybody gets like turned around sometimes or whatever. And so she like says a couple of jokes to like kind of ease the tension, and then shows him onto the train before she like says bye to her dad and goes onto the train and finds Cedric. And then she like keeps seeing this boy throughout the year and like checking up on him and making sure that he's okay. And then she just like kind of romanticizes the little things. And she always has like a biscuit in her pocket because she like loves biscuits. So like in the morning, she just grabs a whole bunch of biscuits and has them in her pocket. And like if anybody's like having a hard time, she's like, here's a biscuit, because biscuits solve everything. And usually they're like a little stale and like crumbling, but it's like the gesture that is like helps people be okay. And but she's like not infallible. So they do have like Draco hazes her and stuff, and she's not like mean to him, but she does like bite back with retorts that he says to her. Um so
They
she like
did actually make Draco a jerk.
they
Good.
did make Draco a jerk. He is being a jerk. Um and it's like another like little thing is like she talks to all of the portraits and people are like, you don't need to talk to the portraits, they're just portraits, like you can ignore them. But she's like, and like Draco actually makes fun of her for talking to the portraits and things. And it's just like it's so wholesome seeing like this different part of Hogwarts where she knows what's going on with like Harry and Ron ish, Harry, Ron, and Hermione, and like you see them in classes, and she'll like say hi, and they know who she is and stuff. But it's not like, oh, and I went with Harry to go do this. It's just like, oh yeah, we have divinations together, and I heard Trelawney say the Grim or whatever. um, and like she's friends with Neville. She does like this chess thing every week with him, even though like every single time he loses to her. But she's like very kind about how he loses to her. So she's letting him build his confidence up to being able to actually beat her. Um and she's like just very consistent with her kindness, and like she's always the person to go make sure that the person who's lonely is being taken care of. Like she was late to potions class and lost points for her house because she was helping this kid who was lost and like crying, and she gave him a biscuit and made him feel better about his day before sending him on. And then she didn't like say, oh well, you shouldn't like take my points away because I was helping this kid. She's like, yeah, you can take my points. Or whatever. Like she doesn't try to like point out that she's being good to all of these people. She just is being good and is kind to all of these creatures. And it's just so wholesome. And I love this point of view of the Harry Potter world where she's talking to portraits, she's going and taking care of magical creatures, she's going and talking to Hagrid and like knitted him some socks that had hippogriffs on it. And like she's just doing these little kind things for everybody that it's just so natural to her, but nobody else would think that to do it. And I think it's really refreshing to read something like that, and to see the point of view of this world that I love so much. um Yeah, I'm only, like I said, 7 chapters in, and this is a 700,000 word, which means it's well over 1,000 pages.
That's nuts.
Yeah, yeah. So
That's crazy.
I'm pretty sure she's gonna. This author's probably written it through all the years, um, which makes me sad for the fourth year because she's really good friends with Cedric Diggory. And I'm like, oh no! Like, this is gonna hurt! Because she makes Cedric Diggory, like, a very solid character in this. And I'm only on, like I said, chapter 7, and I know who Cedric Diggory is. He's like, there's this one part where he's a prefect, and it has her saying she's talking to all of the things while he's trying to catch all of the lost badgers, because Hufflepuff is badgers or whatever. And so he's always like directing people and helping people to where they need to be, and like making sure that all of like Hufflepuff is taken care of. And so he's very thoughtful of the younger kids and like making sure they know where they need to go, and he's really good at like making people laugh and making them feel at ease. And so yeah, fourth year's gonna hurt.
Hurt
But
real bad.
gonna hurt real bad. I'm ready to be hurt again. But I'm really enjoying this fan fiction. Really enjoying the like just the like it makes me want to be better. It makes me want to romanticize the little things. Um and yeah, it makes the Harry Potter characters deeper and the story more meaningful to me. Um because I don't know if I've said it plainly like this on the podcast before, but like my favorite thing about like Harry Potter is the fan base and the fan fictions and all of how like those stories make Harry Potter so much richer. Like my least favorite thing about Harry Potter is the books. Which is so funny. I'm really glad that there are the books so that there could be a fan base, like such a loving fan base that has made so much good content come from it. Um, but yeah, absolutely adore this fan fiction, and I think everybody should read it, honestly. I'll keep you guys updated because I'm just barely scratching the surface and I'm in love.
Yeah. 7,000 words is a lot of words.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
I'm excited. I'm really excited that there's a lot. Because I tend to devour things very quickly. So I'll give it like a week.
You're a pretty quick reader.
Devoted? I don't know if quick is, but I have a lot of time. So.
And you will spend that time on some goodness.
Yeah, there are times that I just like basically lock myself in my room and I'll just read. Well, yeah, I'll take my dog out and I'll find a place where I can just like sit in my hammock and he can just explore so that I'm not locking my dog up in my apartment with no sunshine for forever. So like, literally, yeah.
Sitting in a hammock and reading is one of the greatest things in the world. Yeah. I genuinely love it so much.
Yeah, and my dog loves it too because I'm like, yep, go sniff some things. I'm going to be right here. And he's like, yes! I'm gonna be... So it's a good time for both of us. So
That's awesome. Yeah. What was this one called again?
It's called The Language of Small Things.
Language of Small Things.
Yep.
Good name.
Yeah, and that's what, like, yeah, honestly, it's very, like, masterful. 10 out of 10 so far.
Sweet. And how far are you into it, like percentage?
I don't know.
Okay.
Not very far. Like I said, it's like the chapters are pretty long, but AO3 doesn't really have a percentage thing to tell me how far along I am. I could probably look up and see how many chapters there are, but
well, you're going into year 4 of 7, right?
My what?
You're going into year 4 of 7.
Oh, she starts. So years 1 and 2 is basically like a chapter, and then it really starts like she's just on like her second day of year 3, and so like she's done Professor Lupin's class, and they did the Bogart, whatever, and like her thing was like all of the animals that has under her care are like dying and she can't help them, and then so like it goes through like the classes and stuff, but I think it's actually gonna go beat for beat about from year 3 onward, whereas like year 1 it just kind of told about her getting sorted into Hufflepuff, and then the next one it kind of like just mentioned how her second year was dark with like she's like, oh, things are getting kind of crazy with there was like blood on the wall, and then they said she's like she could sense like a snake in the walls, and she's like, I know there was some sort of beast, and she's like, it was lonely and sad and stuff, and so she's like feeling for the snake, And then that's kind of all you get up for years 1 and 2, and then it goes into like the nitty gritty of year 3. So yeah, I'm which I kind of enjoy that they kind of skipped 1 and 2 that way and just went into 3. Um, yeah,
Cool. Very cool.
excited.
All right. With that, let's go ahead and hit our shared topic. Let's go Conlon, Lauren, then I'll go last.
Okay, I didn't know. I'm struggling with what to say that hasn't been said on this movie. A Few Good Men is straight up awesome, and I actually appreciated it even more this time. There's kind of nothing really bad about it. The story is edge of your seat. The drama is epic. The acting is really, really good. In my opinion, Tom Cruise should get more credit for this movie than he gets. Um, it's just really good. There's not very many military court dramas that are actually well done. This one is. I really don't have a lot of negatives to say about it. It's just a great movie. And my old rating would have been like an 8.3. I'm moving it up to a 9. And it's only because I don't think about watching this movie nearly enough and I kind of forget about it. But every time I watch it, I'm like, damn, that's one good movie. I wish I had more to say about it, but it's just really good.
Lauren, what you got?
Not a lot. So full disclosure, I couldn't get access to this movie, so I didn't watch it. But I looked up a whole bunch of synopsises, and like, I I don't know if I could get into this movie honestly, because I'm not. 12 Angry Men is a what is that called? An
Exception.
exception for me. I do not like court dramas. I really like 12 Angry Men, which surprised me because I do not like court dramas. Um, and like, I have a couple of family members in like the military. Is that? Yeah. Sometimes I say army, but that is a branch of the military. And people are like, "Oh, the army." And I was like, "No, they're not an army." Like, I'm stupid. Don't listen to me. Um, in the military. Um, and so I, for whatever reason, have a really hard time watching military movies and stuff, even though, like, my, I don't think that my family has had, like, harrowing experiences. I don't know. They don't tell me. They could. But I haven't heard anything specifically, but for whatever reason, it makes me shy away from military things. And I think that was another thing that made me not really pursue too heavily to try to get access to this movie this week. Um, but I do see why people would like this movie. It's very thought provoking in many regards of like duty versus morality versus I can't think of what, but like what's right and wrong versus like orders and things like that, and how to weigh those. Um, I don't like Code Red. That's dumb. Makes me very angry that that's a thing. Um, but yeah, so that's. I wish I had more to say about it. Um, I, I was gonna say I feel bad I didn't watch the movie, but I don't feel bad that I didn't watch the movie. Um, but yeah,
So we literally picked this movie for you to watch
I
the
know.
movie, and you were like, "Nah, I'm good."
I mean, I was gonna watch it, and then it like I got one block of like not being able to watch it, and then I tried to watch it on like two different things, but it was gonna be like $14 for me to watch, and I was like, okay, I'll read the synopsis and then see if it's worth it to pay $14. And I read the synopsis and I was like,
Nah.
I'm like, specifically this week I was like, I'm not in the mentality to watch that. So So I feel bad that I was like, yeah, we should watch this. And then I didn't watch it. But I did look up the synopsises and stuff and tried to look up things so I could actually talk about something about it. Um, but yeah, since this podcast is about like things from our lives that make affect how we watch, I thought I would talk about why it was hard for me to find the,
That is totally fair.
the thing to watch this. So yeah, sorry I didn't watch it. Sorry, not sorry.
I
I'd be so sorry.
also didn't watch it this week. We had a short
What?
turnaround time, and I've just ran out of time. However, I have seen this. I do own it. Um, I actually own it multiple times. I absolutely love this movie. I was actually thinking about it, and uh, one of the things that I was thinking about what makes this movie so good is it's not just a courtroom drama. I was specifically thinking about Tom Cruise's relationship with the female lawyer, and it feels so authentic because it does the thing that every couple fights about in existence. She's not happy at the way Tom Cruise is doing things because she feels like Tom Cruise isn't taking it seriously because he's playing baseball. When in reality, Tom Cruise is thinking about it and processing through activity. And I'm like, that is such a relatable concept. Like, Conlon's married. I'm willing to bet Conlon has had that debate, discussion, argument, whatever you want to call it, thousands of times. I've been in
Yep.
relationships. I've had that conversation so many times where it's like, you're not doing this or you're not taking it seriously just because it's not being done the way that it's thought to be had. But she's not like bad for it. You don't hate her character because of it. It is just one of those things that make it feel very real, very touched down to earth, and very relatable. Even though none of us not have served in the military. As far as I know, none of us have been prosecuted and had to sit on the stand. None of us are lawyers, right? Like this, the basis of this movie is so far out of touch, yet has this relatable relationship to it. As for Lauren, I don't think you can judge this movie based on the synopsis. Basically,
I don't
because
either.
if you read about what happens, I agree. There's like, that's kind of annoying. That sucks. I hate Code Red. These people, I understand this. But the performances that Tom Cruise and the girl and the general all play completely carry this movie. There's a reason "you can't handle the truth" is such a quotable line, and it's because of the way it's played by Jack Nicholson, right? Jack
Hmm.
Nichols,
Yeah,
Jack
that's right.
Nicholson. I
That's
don't
right.
remember.
That's right.
Um, I think this is one of Tom Cruise's best performances, basically because it is him performing, right? In Mission Impossible, it's him running, him doing stunt, him delivering line, him, like, and that's very impressive. I'm not discounting that at all. It's just in this one, he is hitting his mark and delivering a line and the emotion behind that line. And the way that we see him as a soldier having to question orders and having to debate with that within himself absolutely carries this movie. So I still do think you should watch this movie. Um, it is so good. I don't think you're gonna love it as much as 12 Angry Men, uh, but I do think there's a lot of relatability to it. There is a lot to love here, especially in the performances of our main characters. So
I'll watch it now that I
You
have
should.
access to it.
You should. Really, really good. Like I said, I don't. It's not the same as 12 Angry Men in that kind of way, so I don't know if you'll love it. Maybe you will come out of it and think the exact same thing, but I just think that the performances alone are worth seeing. So I'm
Yes.
giving it an 8.3. I would love to give it a 9 because I think the quality is that high. But just like Conlon said, it's not one I often come back to rewatch. And when I do think about rewatching it, I often go, I'll watch something else instead. So, um,
That's what I do too, unfortunately.
yeah, it is
Quite
one that I
often.
think to watch. I just don't actually ever choose it. So I can't give it that 9. Um, so I'm going right where Conlon was before with an 8.3 because I don't forget about it. I often go, should I watch this? No, I should watch something else. So that's where I'm at. All right.
Fair.
Any last thoughts?
No, I think that's
Okay.
great.
Thank you everybody for watching and or listening. I really appreciate everybody. Next week we're going to be watching Truth and Treason, another one we're watching for Lauren. So hopefully she actually watches this one.
Watch it. We got Plex
I'm just
situated.
kidding. If you guys have any recommendations for us, we'd love to hear them. If you have any thoughts about what we had to say here, I'll love to hear those too. Remember to be better today than you were yesterday, and have a great week.